They're actually already in relationships with options that are not as bitter, younger, and more attractive.
Welcome back to That Liminal Period. It's your girl, Chun-Li Shoddy, and as you guys can see today, we're going to be reacting to a video created by MTR. He's a content creator here on YouTube. Because I really enjoy his content and appreciate his male perspective, I thought it'd be fun to also do a reaction to his video and share a female's perspective. I love being able to get a balanced view, so without further ado, let's jump into it and see what these women have to say.
The amount of white dudes with Thai women that are waiting to board international flights, it's an absurdity. It is crazy. Like, half of the couples in this airport right now are beautiful Thai women with super basic white dudes.
So let's be...
What you guys are looking at is the beginning stages of hitting the wall. See, this is what I call the bitterness stage. When you look out into a crowd and see your potential suitors, but those potential suitors are not interested in you. Not only do these potential suitors hold the key to relationships, but they're actually already in relationships with options that are not as bitter, younger, and more attractive than you. Oftentimes, these moments will result into crying oneself to sleep at night. Your rant exudes jealousy, ma'am. Stop trying to berate these average or these basic men, because to me, these sound like smart men that found great options.
So you guys heard his take, right? Well, I want to go ahead and add a female perspective. I think in part her reaction is due to the fact that she's realizing that the feminist mindset that was sold to her all her life was a lie. She's probably in Thailand right now, traveling on a solo trip or on a girl's trip, not with a man. Because if she was in a relationship, she wouldn't be noticing or upset by the amount of white men, or basic white men as she calls them, spending time and spending money and being with their beautiful Thai girlfriends. I think she's realizing that, hey, all this education, no matter what type of degree I have, no matter how much money I have, no matter if I can afford to go on this trip and I don't need a man, I really, really, really want one. And it's a bit too late.
How far does 1,000 pesos in the Philippines go? I'm gonna find out.
First things first, got some movie tickets.
In America, you'll never see this. The movie theater comes with free popcorn.
Got himself a nice little baddie out there.
We saw that new Spider-Man movie, so good, and then we got in.
I wanted to go ahead and pause right here on her frame. So I understand that beauty is subjective. However, I really dislike it when we draw these comparisons between Western women and outside Western women, and we're being disingenuous and pedestalizing these other women. I really don't think that this sweet Thai girl is actually a baddie. I think that she is really average if you're just talking about her outer appearance. And I say the outer appearance because a lot of Western men also rank women purely based on aesthetics. So I think this girl is very average. I think I'm very average. I think most people are very average. That's why it's the average. If everyone was a millionaire, it would not be as impressive to be a millionaire. Back in the day when people were making $10 a day, if you were making $20 a day because of relativity, you're a rich person, you're a rich man, you're doing really well off. So yeah, if we're talking about the grand scheme of things and worldwide beauty standards, I do not think that she is a baddie. She is attractive, and I believe that other attributions such as her attitude, her personality, her ability to cooperate and support her boyfriend, and just her showing gratitude and appreciating the date, the time that he's spending with her. I think all of that in combination goes a long way. So someone that is average can get an additional point or two from their attitude. And on top of that, she's also fit. She seems feminine. Those are other attributes men are looking for and value. Let's get back into it.
Insane amount of food for the price. I tried Halo Halo for the first time. It slapped. Here's how many tokens you get at the arcade for less than $2. Karaoke is like 2 tokens. Games are like 1 token. It's insane. We could have spent all day here if we wanted to. And that's a pretty good date for 18 bucks. Now, a lot of Western women are upset in my comments saying,
Wait a minute. I would be embarrassed to only admit I only spent $13 on a date and happy about it no matter what country I'm in. Ooh, the bitterness. Ooh, the jealousy. It is disgusting. Why would you be embarrassed?
Okay, so not only is it bitterness and jealousy, but I really do think it's just purely hypocrisy. Most women love a good deal. I'm in a travel group on Facebook with just women, and there's over 2 million followers worldwide. 2 million female followers. And guess what? We're always looking for a budget travel deal. We're always looking for ways to save. Whenever you're traveling with women, I'm sure you've noticed there's usually 3 to 4 girls per room so that they can split the cost. So again, I think that is just the hypocrisy. We don't spend that money on ourselves. We don't take ourselves on these lavish dinners and dates. However, we are going to expect that from the person trying to date us. We don't want to sell our love at a discount. And I think that's what's flawed in the Western woman mentality. Whereas this Thai woman is just more so appreciative that he's spending time with her and they're having fun. I think that's what really matters. And the fact that we live in a capitalistic, materialistic, and self-centered, selfish, and greedy world in the Western world, particularly America, I think that's where some of these comments are coming from. It's just the hypocrisy.
If the cost to live in another country is lower, and you're bragging about, yo, you don't have to do it in America the way that the capitalistic society taught you that you needed to do. They make you feel undermanned unless you can do all these exorbitant, expensive shit. So you go to somewhere else that exists on Earth and you get a lot more value for way less money. Oh no, I would be ashamed to be admitting this publicly. Give me a break. Sign language. The need to be right and guilt runs deep within you.
That I'm broke or that it's embarrassing.
Hold up, I'll be embarrassed if okay, wait, that's a different one. Cheap ass. I would love to go on a $10 date to eat alligator and play with pythons. Not. What? This is pathetic. You're really clutching at straws here.
Okay. I really hate to throw out the race card or play the race card, but low-key, that sounded racist. Just because he's spending $10 in the Philippines does not mean that they're outside eating feral animals and playing with pythons, okay? That is just crazy. $10 goes a long way when you're in Asia, when you're in Southeast Asia, when you're in Latin America. $10 goes a lot further in these countries compared to the UK, compared to London, compared to France. There's a lot of countries where the dollar is worth less than. And it's not because those other countries are uncivilized. You can go to Japan right now and it's going to feel like you're getting a 40% discount on a vacation just because the yen compared to the USD right now is at an all-time low. So these women are either just trying to flex, trying to sound better than they are online, or they're just really ignorant on how finances work. And the thing is, like I said, $10 goes a long way in these other countries. You can bring $1,000, or if your income is 1,500 USD, when you go over to Asia, if you still have that American salary, you will live a very nice life. You would be able to go out to eat several times a day, afford a nice penthouse or apartment in the city, be able to pay for activities with just $1,500, $2,000 a month. You're not going to get that here in America because the cost of living. That's just it. Like, a lot of these things can be explained if you just take a wider lens and view the world for what it is. These women in Thailand are still hypergamous. They still want to be with men that can protect and provide. They're just more willing to offer the value that they think these men are interested in. They're nicer. They're more cooperative. They don't mind letting the man lead. They don't mind serving the man. This is all within their nature. This is all within their scope.
I'm not spending enough. These countries are beautiful. You don't have to spend a lot of money. I think that exposes a toxic part of Western dating.
Oh, it's super toxic. Seriously? Cheap bastards. I would be pissed if I got on TikTok to find a man budgeting $10 on a date for a video. Yo, this is insane. Comments like this continue to prove why modern men today are going abroad. These women look at their experience on a date as, ooh, girl, tell me, how much money do you think that he spent? Oh, he took you to Roof Chris. Oh, and then you had a drink too and a date. Little calculators going off in their modern woman head. And if you're not spending over a certain threshold, then they disrespect you? Huh? It's crazy to me that these marketers have these modern women today just completely wrapped around their materialistic finger. Let's keep going.
Absolutely. He is spot on with that. It is the capitalistic world that we live in. We live in a material world, especially here in America, especially here in the West. And the thing is, not only are they doing mental calculations as far as how much you're spending on the date, but trust and believe, whenever she finds out a detail about you, she dollarizes that. Oh, he's an anesthesiologist, $400,000 a year. Oh, he lives in Buckhead. He's spending $2,000 a month on his condo. What kind of car is he driving? So they start adding it all up because that's what they assume this man is worth just by what he is flexing. And that's why we have such a hard flex culture. You'll probably never see as many branded cars, European cars, anywhere. But it's because cost of living is lower in Atlanta. People can afford more, but people are also not financially responsible. So that's the thing. A lot of these men that you're judging purely based on what he looks like he can provide for you. And then you overlook those men that have the blue collar jobs that are still pulling in six figures. But because he's wearing steel toe boots and he's wearing Dickies and a uniform, you're looking past him. Whereas that guy who is an anesthesiologist still has $200,000 in student loans. Like, you guys just aren't thinking properly, and it's because of social media and the world that they have painted for us. We live in this la-la land, and that's why we are Delulu.
Culture where the amount of money spent on the date is the value of the date or the value of the man. Where asking a question, how much should you spend on a first date, is actually confusing to some girls in these cultures.
People are curious what's it like to date in the Philippines. What do you think is like a good amount to spend on a first date?
I don't think the amount matters. It's
Hello.
just how you project yourself.
Is this thing on? Hey, modern men of the West. Are you struggling in dating in the West? This guy's experience in the Philippines is not weird at all. One of my best friends has been to the Philippines and reports back this type of dynamic. I've been to Thailand and I report back this type of dynamic. If the women that you have access to give no reprieve to the double standards within our culture, if they're absorbed in social media, if they're absorbed in materialism, then stop dating them. Save that money and go abroad. Thank me later.
Okay, I just want to pause because that does sound very discouraging to men here in the West, because no, not every man can just leave the country and start anew. It is a very lonely thing because even though you can make new friends, everything that you've built and established here in the Western world, it's no longer there. You're not going to be able to just run over to your parents for Thanksgiving. You're not going to be able to go out and grab drinks with the boys. So you have to forego all of that. You have to let go of some of the luxuries if you are committed to being a passport bro. But here's the thing that I don't hear a lot of men in the red pill space really speak on, is that there are traditional women that are still in the Western world. There are women that understand the values and gender roles. The thing is, we're just not having those conversations. Everyone is so polarized. You have the super feminist, I don't need a man, and you have the super red pill, such as Fresh and Fit, where we don't want to be with one woman. We can afford to go elsewhere. Shut up and make a sandwich. I think the conversation is way too polarizing, and that's why I want to share that, yes, there are Asian women or women elsewhere that are a lot more cooperative, but again, you're now foregoing the depth of love that you might be able to establish. And to some people, that doesn't matter. Honestly, to some people, it doesn't matter that you're able to have those deep and meaningful conversations. Most people marry and date within their own race because of familiarity. You want to be able to share experiences and crack jokes and for you guys to understand each other. You don't want to have to teach the other person everything. When you move to Thailand, if you're a white man, a black man, or any type of man, you now are walking into another culture where you are going to assimilate. It's not about re-educating everyone else around you. So again, that's why I challenge men to also find women here in the States. I challenge women to become better partners. I challenge men to become better partners. Okay, it's not too late. Do not give up on America.
So I called her mom.
¿Dónde está esta niña?
Allá está, acostada en el sofá.
Qué floja.
Está floja, no me quiere hacer cenar. Tú dile.
I love that she came through with her own wooden spoon.
Y póngase a hacerle de cenar a su marido.
Right now, come on.
No me conteste para atrás, hágale cenar.
Come on. Let's go.
You're such a snitch.
Love you too.
You're such a snitch.
It's impossible for women after 40 to find a boyfriend. I have no children. I cook delicious food and I have a big house. Am I really that bad? We'll be 30 next year. No marriage, no child. I will always go to bed with tears. Oh. 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 Am turning 39. Not married, no child, not in a serious relationship. I'm hopeless. Please, please help me, God. All these strong and independent women on here. What's going on? At the age of 39, still single, no child, no house, no car. Dear Lord. I wonder how many of these women were posting videos just like the previous young woman. As if the...
See, that's the thing. It's like, although it's funny and, you know, he's mocking the situation and at times, like, yeah, I do think that is deserved. However, I think that we lack that compassion and that grace. Honestly, women don't know how to be women. So can you blame them? If that's like being mad at apes for not being rocket scientists. If they don't know how to be that, and you don't have men or women teaching them how to be that, they don't have good role models, they don't have fathers in the household to show you how to treat a man, how do you expect them to get there? Society has not always promoted them to serve and support their husbands. Society is no longer endorsing women to just be stay-at-home mothers. They're encouraging us to be boss babes. So once again, it's if we don't know how to be that, just like there are men who don't know how to be great husbands. And that's where there are channels and there are so much resources to help them get there. But when we meet these women with mockery or just telling them you deserve it, at times it can be discouraging to even improve. I mean, to an extent, she did try. Well, actually, she has no car, no house. Okay, she needs to get her life together. But that other white woman that had a big house, no children, good career, she didn't look too bad for her age. But the thing is, men don't necessarily care about all of that. They care more about a good wife, someone that can help them, support them, cook for them, bear their children. It's like men are looking at different attributes.
Consequences for their decisions are not real, but they are real when you hit that wall.
Life's real.
Shout out to feminism. Oh, copyright. Shout out to feminism for continuing to create women like this, that we can have a conversation to more so inform other women what they're setting their lives up for. All right? There's absolutely a reason for this.
I was enough.
I miss my dad. If my mom passes, I'd be an orphan. Divorce sucks. I'm officially the old aunt. My son is grown. Half my life is over. It's so crazy to me that they post all of these crying videos like this. Like, this is really embarrassing work. What's so interesting about these videos, because none of these women were like hideous or anything like that, is if you look into their DMs, I bet you there's it's men down bent down up in there that's in the friend zone. But instead of opening your heart to some of these men that society has deemed as average, you're sitting here and crying on the internet. You should have realistic standards and you should have made better decisions so that you would not have ended up this way. But see, that's how men typically handle situations like this. We're a lot more solution oriented. Meanwhile, all of your girls in your echo chambers will gather you all around and say, there's nothing wrong with you. You're beautiful inside and out. Just manifest. Take Sierra's prayer and pray so you can manifest a man that'll meet all of your delusional expectations, irrespective of all the decisions you have made throughout your life to make you unmarriageable.
So that is the thing, though. It's society has made average men appear to just be beneath than. Okay, because we're overexposed to the celebrity and Hollywood stars lifestyle. We're seeing that and we want that. People are going out and buying things they can't afford, living a life they can't afford, living credit and paycheck to paycheck. So yeah, that's society. And I don't want to blame everything on society, but you are a product of your environment. What is acceptable today might not be acceptable tomorrow, and what is accepted today was definitely not accepted yesterday. So that's the thing. If we don't fix the culture, it's going to continue to be this way. And that's why we have to be more pragmatic and not just have these conversations where all road leads to Rome. Not just avoiding conversations and trauma dumping online. We actually need to sit down and agree to disagree, but to really, what's needed is for us to understand, for us to have that compassion and that grace and be patient with one another. I think that's really key. Making these videos and just completely dismissing some of the challenges that come with being a woman, I think a lot of content creators, especially male content creators, when you're attacking these women, it's the same thing as when women are attacking men and their value in the world. And that 21-year-old who cannot truly affect his current standing, because in today's world, 21 is still fairly young. You're not going to hit that financial stride as a man until later on. You're not going to find and land that 6-figure job the first time that you apply for a job. So we're setting unnecessary and unachievable standards for both men and women. Have the conversation with the women. Bridge that gap. I think the more honest conversations we have, the more patient we are with each other, and the more vulnerable we get. I think that we can actually turn this ship around, like I've said. But anyways, I'm out. Bye.